Okay, so this is I guess you call it a part two of what we first kind of started on this, which was designing the aquarium slash pet store. Um, so it's over here. So the first one, if you remember, is this right here, which looks like it'd work out. Um, but if you see like on this right side, we decided to put all the fish on one side, and then kind of the reptiles, birds on one side, or whatever other animals I decide to keep, but mainly I'm more interested in birds and reptiles. Those are other two popular. Um, Anything else like dogs and cats, I know those are popular, but that's not me. I don't do all that, so it's just gonna be more of reptiles and birds. But we could sell the products for other pets, just not. I just won't actually have them. Kind of like a Petco if you think about it. They don't have they don't really sell most of the animals that they keep stuff for. Um, but first one we had pond area filtration room right in well not basically the filtration room for these two 500s that when you first walk in kind of a show type thing. But I didn't like this at all because if auto water changes and like just stuff how we're gonna design it, doing something like this will not work out. I kind of have to have all the tanks all back against the wall back here because all this is kind of behind the scenes, or at least where all the stuff gets controlled from. And so this next one really makes more sense, and it's a way far better um, idea. So this is kind of the new one. I'm probably missing some stuff, but I just kind of drew up the main stuff. So as you can see, kind of the entrance area is way smaller, which don't matter because we don't need a big old open area. I don't need to be a maze. So um, little area. It looks. I mean, this whole thing looks so huge, but in real life, it'll still be really decent size, but it looks like some huge building on paper, but it probably won't be as big as what me or you would imagine. So in the front, all I have really is this checkout area. But maybe down here this is more of just a gallery kind of area. Walk in. There's pathways to each section. So last time we had kind of gallery. This were like pictures, maybe like fan stuff made, because obviously this is all gonna be part in the internet, kind of like just Aquarium Club, how he has a social. Um, he's throughout the internet and he's a lot popular, so there's gonna so that's kind of like pictures, paintings, kind of like what I was doing with that fish fan poster, just like generic stuff like that to hang up. Just like this would be kind of a cool area to hang up stuff, but that's not our number one concern, but that's something we could do with it because it'd be blank space. Um, Now for the display tanks, I wanted to do them in each sections. Focus, okay. But I think we could still keep them in the front, which I think I kind of like because it kind of just appeals attention. Um, we could probably I wanted to do them in wall, but I don't think that's really gonna be work, I guess. So I think we would still do like a stand and like a big old something tank, 500 plus, whatever we can fit in here. Biggest we can fit in here, definitely. On each side, maybe do fresh and then salt. This stuff would be a big old reef tank, and then down here, probably more. I'll probably do a community tank, even though cichlids probably would be a cool idea for that type of tank. But I think just having big schools of fish, just draws a lot of attention. So, but again, that's this anything in this area is not our main concern. So, we want to spend money on the stuff that matters. This would come like over time. Like this wouldn't be right when the store sets up. This wouldn't be something you'd buy right away. So this is the setup. See this middle section now. This whole middle section is the reptiles and birds and whatever else. Um, Probably just those main two, like I said earlier. And then my original idea, but having fresh and salt on one side. So as you can see, these would be open entries, so there's no doors. It's just just basically an archway. Just open to each section. And it'd be cool to have like little signs, like big signs above each one, like saying what each section is. Probably fresh water, salt water, and then I don't know what I'd label this because there's two different things, but something like that, just so you know where you're going. Not that it's that hard, but a little bit of detail that you could do inside. But so kind of the same idea. We have four kind of, now this ain't confirmed. Like I don't know. There could be three. There could be five racks. Who knows? But this is just to show what will be there. So these will be front to back. Now, so that would make 8 racks, which would be a lot of racks. I mean, we're talking probably 100 tanks, but so that's why I'm saying there could be less, there could be more. There could be only 3 racks here, just depending what fits. But this is just to represent what is going to be here. But basically, back-to-back racks going to be all lining this wall, evenly spaced, and then obviously leaving a good gap around, just so that because there's walkways to get in here, and so we just want to leave a little bit of room. And then also there'll be a doorway here to get back here. And then again in the middle section we have these will be more of a shallow tank. So if you ever see those frag tanks, or like maybe they're really like big tanks, but then like they're only like so tall, like maybe 8, 10, 12 inches tall. Like they're really not that big. So they'll be like really big but shallow tanks, and that's where keep 2 of those, and that's where we keep plants. You know, it'd be just all rimless, all open top, and then there'll be lights hanging from the ceiling, which would grow all these. And then at the end of these on shelves, we could probably sell a little bit of tissue culture, whatever we want to do, but keep basically live plants, because there will be a lot. So we could probably do some custom like thing like plant holders that we can like, because most of them probably in pots, so it'd be cool to make custom holders where it just all evenly looks nice, not just placed in there. Um, and then back to our shelves. Again, I don't know like how many we can exactly fit, so I just kind of just put some here just to show what's gonna be here. So just all shelves for everything you could possibly need for freshwater to at least set up a tank. Then of course on the back walls we can always add shelves too, which is most likely like the back shelves are probably gonna hold like tanks to buy. That's probably what those would be for. And then these are more like filtration, food, what else is there these days? Substrate, lights, stuff like that. But lights and stuff would probably hang back here, and then tanks on this big wall. And then I don't really need to explain the saltwater side, but basically same thing, all saltwater. Oh, and then the other thing, basically the first two would be 20 gallons, and well, yeah, the first two would be 20 gallons. This one would be probably a little bit bigger, maybe all back to back 40 breeders, and then back to back maybe 55s to 75s. So basically it kind of gets bigger as you go down. So, because you got to make room for, some of the bigger fish that you might have. And then same thing over here. And then, of course, instead of plants, we have coral now because it's saltwater. So the thing about coral is there's so many more coral than there is plants. So at least that's available. So there'll probably only be so much coral that we can stock. So we'll probably stock more of the poplar ones most of the time in this ones, but obviously there's always back area to keep other corals. And then again shelves, and then walls. On this one we probably have to keep sumps and more extra stuff for salt water than there will be fresh, but still same amount of space. It's basically equal to each side. So that's the thing I want to do, is I don't want to be like that person that just does just salt or just fresh, or does both but then only has like 5%. Like some stores they'll have like 75% fresh water, then 25% um, salt, and it's kind of uneven. Me, I want to make it symmetrical on each side, so each side of the hobbyist people, you can't complain. um, you guys get equally loved. And then okay, so and then after these two areas you enter here until this basically smaller area but still decent size. This whole wall will be, it's just gonna be one wall, but it's, of course, gonna have a lot of displays on different reptiles. And of course reptiles don't need as big as cage, just depending on what you're keeping. Most geckos, dragons, bearded dragons, just a lot of the common lizards. I don't know so much about snakes. There's really anything that I want to sell and what's going to be popular to sell. So probably half snakes, half reptiles. Those will probably be more popular. But I'll do kind of my own research on what's more popular than others, and that's what will be sold here. But probably a lot of lizards. That's usually what people like to keep when it comes to reptiles, and mostly beginners. So it'll basically be like an L shape. So there'll be, tanks, facing this way, and then there'll just be a whole line. So this right here could be like 40, 50 tanks. Just all depends on how much we can fit right there. They'll probably be like 10, 20 gallons. Kind of what you see on other pet stores. But of course, a lot nicer, way nicer. And the birds, you can always see that's a way bigger area. That's because we're obviously they need way more space, and we have to factor that in. The birds, there won't be as many, like maybe like 4 or 5 species at a time. So there won't be a lot of species sold, but it's there for the people that want it. And birds aren't that hard of a pet, and this being enclosed, they won't be. Um, of course, they can breathe, but noise cancellation. That's what I was trying to say, and stuff like that. Because you don't want loud birds in your store, but a lot of common things we can probably keep. Obviously we don't want to keep um, crap stuff, but there's a lot of common birds like lovebirds, cockatoos, um, and all the other. Probably we probably wouldn't be such very big birds, but a lot of we'll probably keep a couple average price birds, and then maybe keep a couple high dollars here and there, just for the people that like that, a little bit of bird lovers out there. But right now the bird section, I have no clue. The ones basically the stuff I'm confirmed about is obviously the fish and reptiles. The birds, I have no clue how that's gonna work out. So that's why I'm kind of keeping that as a question mark. And then of course we have big shelving, because there's gonna be probably a good amount of stuff. Tanks, again, food, substrates, stuff to escape, reptile tanks, and lights, and all almost similar stuff to aquariums. Just reptile use. But so kind of past the this section, back here is pretty self-explanatory. You got office area. All the stuff workplace. Um, where you receive emails, all doing shipping orders. That's all the important stuff comes out of here. Not so much just my personal. This is where a lot of maybe future employees would do a lot of important work. And then each side has their own quarantine/breeding. So if I want to breed, it'd probably be more back here, and then all these front ones will be more for quarantine fish to go in the displays. And then back here, you know, you always need storage, and I'm gonna have a lot of it. Um, I'm very organized, so you know, you see stores and they have box everywhere. They're just a mess. Mine, it's I'm gonna create the cleanest store you'll ever see, and that's something that's one of my goals, is when you walk in, just to see, how much care goes into something like this, because there's a lot of money here, and it's going to be taken care of, and it's going to get done right. And from people ordering online or buying in store, you're going to get the best quality you'll probably ever see. And that's the main goal of this entire thing. But other than that, I'll definitely keep you guys updated for, other ideas that I get, and probably, start designing the racking system how I want it. Um, all this is really early, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's when the time comes, and it's going to come faster than we expect it to. We got to be, ready. But other than that, Fish Fam's going to get this aquarium store going. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.